Even if you tried, you wouldn't understand it. Maybe something's missing inside of you. Just a bit of sugar to that heartbeat.
What's up, Slayers? It's your girl Nami Slay, and welcome back to my channel where we discuss all things beauty and business. So today's video is going to be a little short, somewhat of a celebration. Today is my 90-day lock-versary. And I know some of you are like,
what? How's her hair so long and it's only been in for 90 days?
I handmade every single lock that is in my hair. For those of you who are into lock count, I have 92 locks. I would have more, but my back is shaved. I don't know if y'all can see that. So yeah. Today we're going to talk about lock extensions and my lock-versary. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and I'm also a loctician. And what that means is I specialize in starting them, maintaining them, extending them, repairing them, all of that. I do that for multiple clients on a consistent basis. However, if you had told me 5 years ago that I would have locks, I would have been like, what? You're crazy. No, that's just not me. And it's not because I thought there was something wrong with them. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I always thought they were beautiful. When I was little, I would get like these National Geographic books and I would look at these beautiful women from all these exotic places and their hair was so long and oh, it was just so beautiful to me. When I started doing locks for a living and became a loctician, I realized I don't really want to go through the stages that most people go through when they get locks. Don't come for me in the comments section because this is my lock journey. Your lock journey is whatever you want it to be. When I got older, I was that girl who did my hair every week. Sometimes 2-3 times a week. And I was going through some things. I constantly did my hair and I kind of just got to this point where I'm like, I am so tired of doing my hair. I do everyone else's, so I realized I stopped having time to do my own, so I went through this phase where I cut it all off. Check my Instagram. I wore that for about 4 or 5 years, really short. That even got to be a lot of maintenance because I kept having to, you know, get it maintained and go get haircuts. Even though I work with a bunch of barbers, between my schedule and their schedule, I can never get a haircut. That's the irony. That's what they don't tell you when you go to beauty school. It's gonna be very hard for you to have time to go and get your own hair done. So I decided I didn't wanna go through that. And that is part of the reason why I chose to get lock extensions. I handmade every single lock that is in my hair. They all started out as like a puff of hair, and I took each piece off and crocheted each lock all the way down. It took me a week to make all of my locks. My lock extensions are actually quite long compared to what most people will get in their hair. Mine's are about 24 inches long. Some questions that I get asked a lot. I recently had a trip to Miami. That is like lock central, okay? There's so many people from different cultures, all of that. There's just so many cultures down there. And I had a man who was Jamaican who walked up to me and he was like,
Yo, Ma, how long you been growing your locks?
He didn't say it like that, but I can't talk Jamaican, so. But I was like, about a month. And you should have seen the look on this man's face. It was like, what? And then it dawned on him, oh, she has lock extensions. And it was just kind of like this, oh my God, why, you know, how dare she fool me into thinking she grew them? Honestly, it doesn't bother me that some people have a problem with lock extensions because your lock journey is not the same as everyone else's, and you chose to go your way, other people choose to do it their way. Why does it matter if we all end up in the same place? If you are considering getting lock extensions, there are a few things that I think you should know. One is the cost. Like I said, my lock extensions are a bit longer than what most people would start with. Most people start at about shoulder length, but depending on the length that you are wanting to get, you can end up spending a couple $1,000s just to get the lock extensions. I charge about $100 an hour, not including the hair. Second thing that you want to make sure of is the quality of the hair that you are getting. You want to make sure that you are getting 100% human hair quality. The reason for that is if you're gonna spend several $100s on a hairstyle that is supposed to last you the rest of your life, or at least some years, you want the best quality hair that you can possibly get. A little bit of backstory on my lock journey. I'm a very impatient person. So I chose to make my locks longer. In doing so, I didn't realize that I'm gonna have to get more hair. So I was like, okay, I can order some more hair. It'll come, it's on its way. Well, I'm in the hair store and I'm actually picking out some stuff for a client. And I see that they start carrying the Vivica A. Fox Afro Puff Kinky bundle hair, right? And they got it in a 613. And for you, those of you who don't know, a 613 is like that pale blonde, so I wouldn't have to lighten it because I intended on coloring my hair. I was just trying to tone some of the color out, so it was only supposed to be on for about 15 minutes. As soon as I put the toner on, I got a phone call saying that my uncle had died, my mother's brother, and I completely forgot about the toner being on my hair, so I just rushed right over and, you know, seen about my mom, all while still having toner on my hair. Toner probably sat on my hair for about 3 hours. Because the extension hair was so light and processed, it took like some weird, crazy colors. It was just like, even for the funeral, I had like to pull my hair back in a ponytail because my roots were like it was orange, purple, it was, oh my God, it was a disaster. And I noticed that only the pieces that I used the Vivica A. Fox store hair, only those pieces were the weird colors. And it said 100% human on the box. The hair that I had bought from fashiondreads.com actually took the way it was supposed to. Now, of course, it was a little bit darker because the toner sat on there longer, but I could tell that it took properly. Long story short, I said all that to say, do not get impatient and do not try new things when you are getting your locks and your lock extensions. The only reason I tried that hair in the store was because I was doing it on myself. If it had been a client, I would have never done that because I only put things on my client's hair that I know I've tested. In fact, a lot of times I test things on myself, like the Vivica A. Fox hair. So the Vivica A. Fox hair, I think some of the pieces were plastic because some pieces took the color and others didn't take the color, like they stayed at blonde. It was just really weird how it took. I've even, you know, replaced them all out now, but for the most part, that was a part of my journey that I could have completely avoided. You plan on coloring your hair at any point in your lock journey, please, 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 please make sure the brand you are getting, even if it says 100% hair, make sure that you can actually color on top of it and it's not gonna take weird. I do plan on changing up my locks in a bit. I've probably colored them like 2-3 times. But the Fashion Dreads hair for lock extensions colors so well. It really, really does. I am like a huge, 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 huge fan of their hair. It's also a Black woman-owned hair company. I'm all for that. Their hair, it does take color. It is soft. A couple of things that I would note when you are getting lock extensions, especially if you are getting them longer than you are normally used to having on you, is they're not like natural locks in the sense that they are not as heavy unless they get wet. I went swimming in the Atlantic Ocean and these were really heavy when I got out. But one of the perks about lock extensions, normal locks, once they get a certain length, they do start to get heavier. But because these are lock extensions, they are super light, and half the time I forget that they're even like there. Like they're so light. I love the versatility that having longer locks gives me. I love the look of them. I get so many compliments on them, and they've got me a lot of business because people see like, hey, she's got locks and hers look great. All in all, I have enjoyed this lock journey. I never thought a hairstyle could teach me patience and consistency, especially coming from someone who did their hair literally every single week. Another perk is I have saved so much money getting my locks. Altogether, I think I probably spent $500. Now, that may sound like a lot of money, but when you factor in the fact that I was spending at least that every single month on my hair, not including the time it took me to do my hair, all of that, because I don't trust other people with my hair. Hairstylists make the worst clients. We are terrible freaking clients. I know I'm terrible. Even with good hairstylists, I am just a pain in the butt. So I save myself all of that and I just do my hair myself. But I saved a lot of money. So $500 up front, as opposed to me not having to really pay anything for my hair for the last 3 months, I'm still about $1,000 up. And we're not even a year in. Okay, so this has been really good. I've taken that money, I can invest it back into my business, take my kids places they want to go. You know, I'm able to do a lot more now that I don't have that extra expense coming out. So that's definitely another perk of these. You do spend more on them up front, however, they pay off in the long run. Like, it really does. Not to mention the fact that I get to be like,
I woke up like this.
you know, it's great. Like, I never have to be like, oh, let me go put my wig on. I could care less. If I get up and go straight to work, I don't have all that time to be primping and prepping in the mirror. I just do these eyes, you know, little lips, and we're out the door. And I get to wake up and just look beautiful. It's wonderful. I wake up and it's like, oh, she's cute. I would definitely recommend getting lock extensions. It circumvents the grow out budding phase. My hair is still locking inside of here, so you still have to maintain it. You still have to oil it like you would regular locks, but I don't put a lot of oil directly on my my locks. I try to keep it on my scalp, and I make a spray that moisturizes my hair and it keeps it from being dry. For the most part, I don't have to spend a lot of money on products. I've gotten out of the consumerism loophole, because there's so many products. Like, you buy one product and you're like, okay, this is supposed to work for my hair. And you buy another product and you're like, okay, this is supposed to work for my hair. And by the time you're done, you got a whole hair product graveyard underneath your bathroom sink of stuff that you don't use. So now you're stuck with it and you spend all this money on it. Like, I don't have to worry about that because I got locks. It's the locks for me. I love it. I could not be happier with them. I love them. I wish I would have done this sooner. There's literally no downside to getting lock extensions. And unless you're a person who worries about other people's opinions, which luckily I don't suffer from that disease anymore. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about locks and lock extensions, please feel free to comment below. If you found this information helpful, hit that like and subscribe button so you can get notified when I upload all new content. Until next time, you guys, peace, love, and namaste.
I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find